When we think of God's protection, our minds often drift towards the idea of being saved from danger, evil, and attacks. While this is indeed a vital aspect of His protection, it's important to recognize that God's protective nature extends far beyond just shielding us from harm. His protection is deeply intertwined with His guidance, wisdom, and the nurturing care that only a loving Father can provide. God's protection often manifests in ways that we might not immediately recognize. One of the most profound ways He protects us is through His guidance. When we allow ourselves to be led by God, we are embracing His wisdom to direct our paths and actions. It is this divine direction that steers us away from harm and guides us toward the fulfillment of His divine plan for our lives. Like this video, if you love God. Imagine driving down a road at night. The headlights of your car don't show the entire journey ahead, but they do illuminate enough of the road to guide you safely through the darkness. In much the same way, God's guidance provides us with the light we need to navigate through life's uncertainties, ensuring that we stay on the right path. This is a form of His protection, ensuring that we avoid pitfalls and dangers that we may not even see. Understanding God's protection requires us to delve into the nature of His love. As a father longs to protect, preserve, provide for, and guide His children, so does God with us. However, God's love is perfect and unconditional, far exceeding even the best intentions of any earthly father. His actions are always motivated by His deep love for us, and His protection is an expression of that love. But this raises an important question. Are you one of His children? The Bible tells us that those who accept Christ and follow Him are given the right to be called children of God. Being under God's protection is inherently tied to being a part of His family. Just as a father would go to great lengths to ensure the safety and well-being of his own children, God does the same for those who belong to Him. So how can you know that you are under God's protection? Will He give you signs to confirm it? The answer is yes, though these signs may not always be what you expect. Inner peace amidst chaos. Inner peace amidst chaos is one of the most profound signs of God's protection. It is a peace that transcends human understanding, a calmness that anchors your soul even when the world around you is in turmoil. This peace is not simply a fleeting emotion or a momentary respite from stress. It is a deep, abiding sense of tranquility that comes directly from God's protective presence in your life. Imagine being in the eye of a storm, with winds raging and chaos swirling all around you, yet feeling an unshakable calm within. This is what it means to experience God's peace. It's not about the absence of trouble, but about the presence of God's assurance that He is with you, guiding you through the storm. When everything seems to be falling apart, relationships, finances, health, or even your sense of purpose, this peace stands firm. It's as if God places His hand on your shoulder, whispering, "Be still, I am in control." This inner peace is a direct result of knowing that you are in God's hands. It's His way of reassuring you that no matter what happens, you are safe under His protection. It's a divine reminder that the external circumstances of your life do not dictate your internal state. The world may be chaotic, but your heart remains at peace because you trust in God's plan and His power to carry you through any adversity. This peace doesn't come from human effort. You can't manufacture it through positive thinking or by trying to control your environment. Instead, it's a gift from God, a manifestation of His presence within you. It's what the Bible describes as the peace that surpasses all understanding because it doesn't make sense to the natural mind. How can you be at peace when life is crumbling around you? The answer lies in your relationship with God, who offers a peace that defies logic and transcends circumstances. God's peace also serves as a powerful witness to others. When people see you maintaining your calm in the face of overwhelming challenges, it speaks volumes about the strength and reality of your faith. It's a testimony to the world that your peace doesn't come from external sources, money, security, or even other people, but from a deep, unshakable trust in God. This kind of peace can only be explained by the presence of God in your life, and it draws others to seek the source of your strength. In moments of crisis, when fear and anxiety threaten to overwhelm you, this peace acts as a fortress around your heart and mind. It shields you from the chaos outside and helps you focus on God's promises rather than your problems. It's a constant reminder that no matter how fierce the storm, God's protection surrounds you like a shield, and you are secure in His care. Divine direction. Divine direction is another powerful sign of God's protection in your life. There are moments when you find yourself at a crossroads, uncertain of which path to take, and the weight of the decision can feel overwhelming. Yet, it is in these moments of doubt and confusion that God's guidance becomes most evident. Through prayer, meditation, or even a seemingly coincidental event, clarity emerges and the way forward is revealed. This is not mere chance. It is God's way of directing your steps, ensuring that you avoid danger and remain on the path He has designed for you. When you seek God's guidance, you are opening yourself up to His wisdom and inviting Him to lead you. This act of surrender allows God to work in your life in ways that might not always be immediately obvious, but are profoundly impactful. For instance, you may feel a sudden sense of peace about a decision that previously troubled you, or an opportunity may present itself just when you need it most. These are not random occurrences. They are evidence of God's protective hand guiding you toward the best possible outcome. Divine direction often comes in subtle forms, such as a deep sense of conviction about a choice or a gentle nudge in a particular direction. At other times, it may be more dramatic, such as an unexpected encounter or a word of advice that resonates deeply with your situation. Regardless of how it manifests, this guidance is always aligned with God's purpose for your life, leading you away from potential pitfalls and toward a future filled with hope and promise. God's direction is a form of protection because it keeps you from straying into areas that could bring harm or lead you away from His will. By listening to His voice, you are safeguarding your journey, making decisions that are not only wise but divinely inspired. This protection is not about preventing challenges or difficulties. Rather, it's about ensuring that the path you take is one that will ultimately lead to growth, fulfillment, and a closer relationship with God. Moreover, divine direction is also a source of comfort and confidence. Knowing that God is actively involved in your decision-making process gives you the assurance that you are never alone, no matter how complex or daunting the situation may be. It reminds you that God's wisdom far surpasses human understanding, and by following His lead, you are aligning yourself with a plan that is perfect and good. In times of uncertainty, when the future feels unclear, it is easy to feel lost or overwhelmed. But through prayer and seeking God's guidance, you can find the direction you need. This guidance may not always come in the way you expect or at the moment you desire, but it will always be timely and exactly what you need. It's a manifestation of God's care and concern for every detail of your life, guiding you step by step, ensuring that you are protected and positioned for His blessings. Provision in times of need. Provision in times of need is one of the most tangible signs of God's protection in your life. When you find yourself in a place of lack, whether it's a physical need like food or shelter, an emotional need for comfort and support, or a spiritual need for guidance and strength, and those needs are met in unexpected and often miraculous ways, it is a clear demonstration of God's protective hand at work. This provision is not random or coincidental. It is the deliberate action of a loving Father who is deeply concerned with every aspect of your well-being. God's provision is an assurance that you are never alone in your struggles. He sees your needs long before you even recognize them, and He is already orchestrating events and circumstances to ensure that those needs are met. This might come in the form of financial assistance just when you thought you wouldn't make it through the month, a friend reaching out with encouragement when you're feeling down, or a sudden sense of peace and clarity during a time of spiritual confusion. These moments of provision are God's way of saying, "I am with you. I know what you need and I will provide." The ways in which God provides are as varied as the needs themselves. Sometimes, His provision is direct and immediate, like an unexpected gift or an answer to prayer that arrives just in time. Other times, it's more subtle, coming through a gradual unfolding of events that, in hindsight, reveal God's meticulous care and attention. Regardless of how it comes, God's provision is always timely, always sufficient, and always exactly what is needed to carry you through your current situation. This divine provision is a reflection of God's character as a provider. In the Bible, He is often referred to as Jehovah Jireh, which means the Lord will provide. This name is a promise that God's provision is not just about meeting your basic needs. It's about ensuring that you have everything necessary for your overall well-being. This includes not only physical resources, but also emotional support, spiritual nourishment, and anything else that contributes to your holistic health and growth. Moreover, God's provision is a testament to His intimate knowledge of you and your circumstances. He understands your unique challenges and knows precisely what you need to overcome them. This personal and tailored approach to provision is a clear sign of His protective care. It's His way of ensuring that, even in times of hardship, you are not left vulnerable or exposed to harm. Instead, He covers you with His love and ensures that your needs are met, often in ways that surpass your expectations. In times of need, it can be easy to feel abandoned or forgotten, especially when solutions don't seem to come as quickly as you'd like. But God's provision often works on a different timetable, one that is perfect and purposeful. When you trust in His timing and His ability to provide, you open yourself up to witnessing His protection in a powerful and personal way. You begin to see how He orchestrates everything to work together for your good, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Deliverance from harm. Deliverance from harm is one of the most powerful and immediate signs of God's protection in your life. There are moments when you find yourself narrowly escaping danger, whether it's avoiding an accident by mere seconds, being spared from a harmful situation that you weren't even aware of, or experiencing a sudden change in plans that keeps you out of harm's way. These moments are not just strokes of luck or random coincidences. They are clear indicators of God's protective hand actively working to shield you from harm. When you reflect on these close calls, there's often a deep sense of awe and gratitude that comes with the realization that something beyond your control was at work. It's as if an invisible hand intervened at just the right moment to guide you away from danger. This is God's deliverance, a divine act of protection that ensures your safety in situations where the outcome could have been drastically different. God's deliverance often occurs in ways that might seem ordinary at first glance, but reveal their extraordinary nature when you consider the timing and circumstances. Perhaps you were running late for an appointment and frustrated by the delay, only to find out later that had you been on time, you would have been involved in a serious accident. Or maybe you felt an inexplicable urge to take a different route home, only to learn later that the usual path was blocked by a dangerous event. These instances are not mere happenstance. They are examples of God stepping in to protect you from unseen dangers. This divine deliverance is a reminder of God's constant vigilance over your life. He sees what you cannot see and knows what you do not know. His protection isn't just about guiding your steps on a spiritual journey, it's also about safeguarding you in the physical realm, ensuring that you are kept safe from harm. This protection is comprehensive, covering every aspect of your life, from your daily activities to the major decisions that shape your future. Moreover, God's deliverance serves as a testament to His deep love and care for you. It's a reminder that you are not alone in navigating the challenges and dangers of life. Even when you are unaware of the threats around you, God is actively working behind the scenes to keep you safe. This understanding fosters a sense of peace and trust in God's protection, knowing that He is always watching over you, even when you are unaware of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. In moments of deliverance, you are often left with a profound sense of purpose and divine favor. It's as if God is affirming that your life is precious to Him and that He has a plan for you that cannot be thwarted by accidents, mishaps, or malicious intent. These experiences can strengthen your faith, reinforcing the belief that you are under God's protective care and that nothing can harm you outside of His will. God's deliverance also serves as a powerful testimony to others. When you share these stories of narrowly escaping harm, it becomes evident that there is a higher power at work in your life. It's an opportunity to witness to others about God's protective nature and to encourage them to seek that same protection in their own lives. Strength to endure trials. Strength to endure trials is a profound expression of God's protection that often goes unnoticed. While many associate divine protection with being shielded from hardship, it's equally important to recognize that God's protection sometimes comes in the form of the strength He gives you to endure and overcome difficult situations. When you find yourself facing challenges that would typically leave you feeling defeated, yet you manage to persevere, it is a clear indication that God is with you, empowering you to withstand the storm. In life, trials are inevitable. They come in various forms: financial struggles, health crises, relationship problems, or emotional turmoil. These challenges can feel overwhelming, threatening to crush your spirit and rob you of your peace. However, when you are under God's protection, you are not left to face these difficulties alone. Instead, God provides you with the inner strength needed to endure, even when the situation seems unbearable. This resilience is not something you muster on your own. It is a gift from God, a manifestation of His protective presence in your life. God's strength is often most evident in your weakest moments. It is in the times when you feel like you can't go on, when every ounce of energy and hope seems drained, that God's power is made perfect. Suddenly, you find a renewed sense of determination, a surge of inner strength that carries you through the darkest valleys. This is God's way of protecting you, not by removing the trial, but by ensuring that the trial doesn't destroy you. His strength becomes your anchor, keeping you grounded when everything around you is shaking. This divine strength also serves as a reminder that God's protection is not always about immediate rescue. Sometimes the trials you face are necessary for your growth and development. They refine your character, deepen your faith, and teach you valuable lessons that you might not have learned otherwise. In these moments, God's protection manifests in the form of endurance, allowing you to emerge from the trial stronger and more resilient than before. It's a process of spiritual fortification, where each challenge you overcome under God's guidance adds to your strength and prepares you for future battles. The assurance of His protection. It's natural to question whether you are truly under God's protection, especially when life gets tough. But it's important to remember that God's protection doesn't always mean a life free from problems. Rather, it means that He is with you in every situation, providing guidance, strength, and peace. To be under God's protection, you must first be in a relationship with Him. This begins with accepting Christ as your Savior and surrendering your life to His will. Once you are His child, His protection is guaranteed, but it's also something you must actively seek and embrace. God's protection is more than just a shield against evil. It is His presence, His wisdom, and His love actively working in your life. As you grow in your relationship with him, you'll begin to recognize the many ways he protects you, often in ways you never even realized. And in this understanding, you'll find a deeper trust in his care, knowing that you are always safe in his hands.